Welcome back and thank you for spending your morning with us. We are grateful for your company. Now let's look at demography and family planning. The Development Research and Project Center, DRPC, is a social investment project that empowers indigenous NGOs in Nigeria to hold officials at the executive and legislature to account for their commitments in health financing and policies implementation. The core areas are family planning, routine immunization, childhood killer disease, primary health care under one roof, and task shifting, task sharing, otherwise known as TSTS. Now, our team comprising, I do apologize. Now, to talk about demography and family planning with us this morning, it's my pleasure to welcome Ene Daniel Ebule, who's a pharmacist, and he's a member of the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Good.
Glad to be here. Good morning.
Good. We also have a lawyer, Ayo Adebusoye, who is Secretary General, Nigerian Network of NGOs. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And then we have Mrs. Emily Olalere, who's the head of department, pharmacy practice, Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
And all three of them are joining us from our studio in Abuja. Now, let me begin with Ene. What lessons would you say that we have learned from the just concluded International Conference on Family Planning?
Well, for me, what was key was the involvement of the private sector. As my work entails, I work with the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria. And recently, we've been involved in a lot of projects with development partners. And as part of the work in that project, that was why I went to that conference with the PACFA at scale. And one of the big lessons that I learned was the involvement of the private sector in the uptake of family planning services. As we'll talk, along the way, the Pharmacist Council of Nigeria, which is the body responsible for regulation of pharmacy practice in all its aspects and ramifications, and regulates the private pharmaceutical sector as well. A lot of activities have been going on, as part of increasing uptake for family planning services through the private pharmaceutical sector. And the PCN has been at the center of it all as the regulator. And so at this conference, I learned that the private pharmaceutical sector activities there can be used to increase uptake of family planning commodities and services in Nigeria. So for me, that was very, very key. And so going forward in our work with development partners, I now see the reason, the rationale behind all the activities that are going on. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Olalere, you are the head of department, pharmacy practice. Family planning seems to be an area that is, should I say, outlandish in Nigeria. And only yesterday I was watching and I saw the statistics regarding population growth in Nigeria. Whereas I think it was the UK that was used, was growing at about 1 million every 5 years. Nigeria is growing at about 1 million every 5 months. That were the statistics that were given to us yesterday. So family planning seems to be an integral part that we should be looking at now at this particular point in our history because our population seems to be exploding. So whose responsibility is it to carry out this campaign so that Nigerians will reduce the number of children that we are having?
Thank you very much. I am I'm glad to be here this morning, like I said, on behalf of the Registrar of the Pharmacists Council of Nigeria, in our partnership with PACFA at Scale. I was also excited to be at the International Conference of Family Planning in Kigali. And like you rightly said, our population is increasing tremendously. The duty of family planning is everybody's concern. It's part of the lesson I learned from the international conference. Everybody that should be involved. So there should be a high advocacy network of even the political leaders, the scientists, the researchers, the youth, even the women organization, so that we can all collaborate to ensure that this issue of family planning, improving it in Nigeria, is taken forward, particularly because from the conference I came to learn that there is an alignment, or what will I say, there is a relationship between economic development and family planning. That if the family planning of Nigeria, we have quality family planning, is well developed, is improved, that people are allowed voluntary access to family planning in Nigeria, we will have our poverty, we have the poverty level reduced, we will have improvement in education, and we will also have prosperity. The GDP of the nation